everyone. How are you doing today? My name is Frank Menard, and I am with the Menard Team Coaching, and we are sponsored by the Napoleon Hill Institute. So look, today's video actually came to me, the topic came to me during my run yesterday morning. I was listening to a podcast, which I oftentimes do when I'm out there. I call it habit stacking. I'm exercising and I'm learning at the same time. So yesterday I was listening to a podcast called the One Thing Podcast. And the One Thing Podcast is hosted by Jay Papasan, who is a co-author of a book called The One Thing, which I read several years ago. And I've really tried to implement or have implemented a lot of the techniques and suggestions that they make in that book. It's a relatively small book. It's an easy read. And I encourage everyone listening to this video today, if you want to be the best that you can be and do it with less stress, read the book, The One Thing. It will help you immensely. But today I wanted to bring to you 7 key takeaways from the book, just kind of as a primer to encourage you to purchase the book either on Audible or in hardcover and actually read it and study it and see what you can implement into your life. Because my purpose every week is to try to bring you positive information that's going to help you live the best life that you can live. So let's get to the book. Key takeaways. First, number one key takeaway is to understand that success is built on focus. Extraordinary results come from focusing on one thing at a time, right? Multitasking actually reduces your effectiveness. Now, many of us were taught that it was a superpower to be able to multitask. But to be honest with you, in the book, they discuss that it's actually creates a weakness. You cannot perform at your highest level if you're doing multiple things at a time. So try to focus on the one thing, the one activity that will help you get to where you want to go. So remember, success is built on focus. Focus on one thing at a time. You know, we talk about the Napoleon Hill definiteness of purpose, the one thing that you want to accomplish. You know, it doesn't have to be for a lifetime. It could be, but it could be for maybe this week or this month or for the next 6 months. You know, what's the one thing that I want to focus on so I can achieve the goal that I've set for myself, right? So number one, success is built on focus. Number two, ask the focusing question. And here it comes. Get your pen and paper out. The focusing question is, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? Let's run that through again. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary in regard to the goal that I've set for myself? What am I focusing on? So what's the one thing I can do? You know, I was just having a coaching session with one of my clients, and we were talking about what's the one thing he can do to make exercise a habit. Because by the time he gets home in the evening after work, it's 5:15, and he typically goes for a bike ride with his son, but his son's got to eat dinner first, and then by the time they get done with all that stuff, it's too late. And anyway, all kinds of things were getting in the way. And my suggestion to him was, what if you changed into your running clothes or walking clothes or biking clothes, whatever, and you never walked into the house when you got home, change into the clothes at work, drive your car home, get out of the car in the driveway and just go for your walk or go for your bike ride while your son is eating his dinner. And then by the time you come back, you've done your exercise, which is at a higher rate that they can do with the son. This is a young kid still learning how to use his training wheels. And that's one way to get him into the habit of exercising, because he wants to lose some weight. He wants to focus on his health. So ask yourself that focusing question. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? You're going to want to play that back a couple of times and get that down. It's a great question. Number three, once you start focusing on doing the little things to allow you to track and stay on track for what you want to accomplish, once you start, it's almost like a domino effect. You've all seen the lineup of dominoes, and you push the first one, and the first one goes down, then the next one goes down. Well, the theory is with the one thing is that if you can get those dominoes falling, and they start to get momentum, those little steps consistently done over time will have a huge effect on you being able to achieve your major goals, right? Because the momentum's there. And you're able to focus. The habit's been created. It's now just a matter of doing. It's not a matter of willpower. Willpower only lasts so long. We have to create a habit that will give us our success. Number 4 takeaway talks about time blocking. Now, I'm in the real estate business, the coaching business. I'm constantly talking about time blocking. If you want to get something done, you have to block out a period of time to get that task accomplished, and you have to stay committed to that block. So what we find is that time blocking is not only essential, but it's really important for you to protect your time. The one thing that you need to get done daily, treat it like it's the most important appointment you have for the day, right? As I mentioned earlier, willpower is a limited resource. This is number 5 takeaway. Willpower is a limited resource. Use it wisely. Do your one thing first when your willpower is strongest. Now, that's a technique I use. I just use an example. One of my coaching clients wants to get into his exercise routine, but he can't fit it in until like 5:15 in the afternoon. I've lived by the fact that if I don't do my exercise first thing in the morning, it's not getting done, right? So you have to find what's going to work for you. But here in the book, they talk about do the most challenging thing, that focus, the thing that you want to accomplish most. Do that first before you do anything else while your willpower is still strong. Because as you go through the day, that willpower is going to diminish. And that's exactly what my client said. By the time the end of the day came and he was able to fit it in, he just found a way to procrastinate because he didn't have the willpower to make it happen, right? So number 5, willpower is a limited resource. Number 6, saying no is necessary. You need to say no to all distractions and good opportunities that don't align with your one thing. In an earlier coaching session today, I was speaking with one of my brokers who I coach their team, and she shared with me that when she was really focused on something and she made that a priority, then it made her ability to decide which way to go easier, because if it did not align with what she wanted to accomplish, the answer was no. So we need to learn how to say no, and say no anytime that something comes into play to interfere with our major focus, our definiteness of purpose in life. Right? Number 6, saying no is necessary. Number 7, big results require a big why. Purpose drives persistence. If you have a solid purpose, it's going to drive your persistence. It's called a burning desire. A strong why helps you stick through obstacles. So when you set your goal, and I know I've talked about this before on this channel, when you set your goal, that's what you want to accomplish. Right below where you write your goal, I want you to write down, why is this important to you? And I've told so often the story of my success in real estate during the real estate crash of 06, 7, and 8. My major purpose was to earn 6 figures. The number specifically at that time was $250,000 net commission per year. The why was because in order to live up to the promise that I had made both my children, who were in college at that time, was for them to graduate debt free. So in order to achieve that, in the worst real estate market in history, I had to generate $250,000 in net commissions. That became my why. That became my power source. That became my fire in my belly when I had to push through obstacles. So having a powerful why is really, really important. So always tie your focus with a powerful why. All right, 7 takeaways from the one thing. Success is built on focus. Stay focused. Ask the focusing question. What's the one thing I can do, such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? Number 3, get the momentum, the domino effect. Get that working for you. Number 4, time blocking is essential. Make sure you time block when your willpower is at its highest to get the job done that you're focusing on. Number 5, remembering that willpower is a limited resource, so make sure you do it when it's at its highest. Number 6, saying no is going to be necessary. You're going to have to say no to anything that doesn't align with your focus. Number 7, big results require a big why. So make sure you know exactly why this is important for you to accomplish, and use that as your driving force. Guys, I hope this video brought you some great information today. Please go out and purchase The One Thing, written by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. It's a wonderful book. It's got a lot of great what I call meat and potatoes in there that we can use to impact our personal lives and to achieve living the best life that we can possibly live. So with that, please give me a like, give me a share, and please subscribe if you haven't already, where I come to you every week and bring you some type of positive input to help you live the best life that you can live. I'm Frank Menard with the Menard team, and we are powered by the Napoleon Hill Institute. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great week.